Hey campers, George here. Out and about, taking a little trudge, breakfast, and I got something pretty cool to show you. In one of my favorite places, Cannon River Wilderness Center. This is the Cannon River and the lowest I've ever seen it. We've had no rain and it's really showing right here. This is Minnesota. Well, it's still green. I'm hungry. I need food and I got something to do all that with. Let's go eat. Even without the rain, it's still green. Look at that. It's going to be a good day today. I haven't been out for a trudge in a long, long time. This will do. I needed to find a campsite that I could cook in. Not allowed to open fires here unless it's in a campsite, so I want a fire breakfast. Let's do it. So I did say I wanted to show you something I got. About a month ago I ordered this guy from Nepal. Yep, a Kukuri 6-inch suite from the Kukri house. Let's check it out. Just want to be comfortable. Like I said, I got a new knife. The Kukuri has been interesting for me in the last couple of weeks. I've been reading about it, watching videos on it and things like that. I even bought a reasonably inexpensive one from Marbles so I could try it out to see if it would work for me. The one from Marbles was really big, really heavy. Thing weighed about 3 pounds. And that wasn't going to work for me. And I thought, oh boy. But then I went shopping. Landed up in Nepal. Well, online, not in Nepal. And I came across the Kukri house in Nepal. And they have a wide range of these types of knives. Their pricing wasn't too bad. The guy that I decided on was the Kukri 6-inch blade called the Jungle Suite. It's not a full-size Kukri. Different names, different people, different areas. Either one will work, I think. Anyway, it arrived early, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go make myself something to eat. The reason I wanted this knife was I wanted to see if it could be becoming my new camp knife, to do all the chores that I wanted to do when I'm camping. And we'll go through the specs and everything, a little bit of history. And then I got to eat. I got to make a fire, cook me some food, and eat. After all, I'm camping. So it came in the package from overseas. and it took about 3 weeks. They said a month or so. So here it is, and I took it out of the package, and this is what they pack it in. Unusual, rubber bands holding everything together, but this paper here is actually from the Kukuri house, and it gives all the information on them. Now I did buy some extras with it, 2 extras that were available with it, and I thought they would be nice additions. Inside there was all this paper, and then some information here on it, warranties, that sort of thing, from the Kukuri house. You can see them there. They have a pretty good reputation. I don't know if they're the best, but of all the ones I looked at, they had what I wanted. So that's what I went with. And their reviews were good. One of the reasons I got one particular accessory was this guy, which they call their Western style sheath. I wasn't sure I was going to like this sheath that is the traditional Kukuri sheath. And you can see it here. Here is the knife there. You can see it in the sheath. This sheath is sturdy. And I believe it's water buffalo hide, I think. But I could be wrong there. But we'll go through the specs. The correct way to take one of these knives out of the sheath, because of the style of the blade, you want to keep your spine of the blade up against the top half of the sheath when you pull it out, because if you don't, you're going to slice through your sheath on the bottom of the body here. So you want to just keep it up against you. Right at this point here, you can see I'm keeping it up there, and it comes out nice and smooth. So I'll show you that again, just keeping it out there, and out it comes. And here it is, the Kukuri Suite. I think the correct name is the Jungle Suite. You can see it there. It's a healthy knife. Look at that blade. Very nice. The cool thing is, these are handmade in Nepal. There's a couple of things you can look at when you look at a Kukuri to see if it's an original. One of the things is obviously the shape. The handle, this style handle, is very traditional with the ridges and the grip on the back, so the knife's not going to slide out of your hand. And this here, if you see one and it has like some sort of animal head on it or something like that, it's what they call the tourist version. You want to stay away from those ones. This is an original Kukuri, a little bit smaller, and that's why I chose it, because I wanted to see if this would work as a camp knife. The shape of the blade and everything is very traditional. It's recognizable. It has a lot of history. One of the things you want to look at is right here. This is rounded off, okay, and it's not sharp. So that's one thing I'm going to have to fix. And I just want to put a nice 90 edge on here to strike a ferro rod. I think that's one thing it needs, probably with a file. Your traditional sharpening methods with this, because of the shape of the blade, the steel that they use, you need something that's tougher than the steel. So there it is there. Very nice. Look at that. I'll show you it there. You can see it there. Oh, it is not full tang. Full tang Kukuris were a Western edition. We out here like a full tang blade. One of the reasons is we believe it's a lot stronger. Well, they've been making it this way with a rat tail since the beginning and have no problems with it. One of the reasons is, just look at the thickness there. It's going to take some abuse to break that rat tail off here, which runs down. It comes down here and then goes into a rat tail in the back here, and then this is actually fixing it to the rat tail. You can take this off and slide the handle out, And then, of course, the very recognizable notch here. And that, all you have to do is type in notch on the Kukuri to see all the reasons they do this. Which one is correct? Have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's a tradition, maybe philosophical. You know, you hear about stops the blood from running into the handle. Well, I mean, all over the blade, and it's going to run onto the handle anyway. That's why they have this. Your hand's going to get slippery. So that's why they have there. And these ridges here help with the grip. Not a lot, very basic ridges, nothing fancy. And you can see here, it has this embellishment on the top. And that's pretty typical for all the makers. When they hand make them, they have this on the top here. And I believe originally it was used to balance the knife. The Kukuri house, they have these little patterns in it. You'll recognize that from them. And they all do that. And it's just an embellishment. It is not anything special. This symbol here is the symbol for Kukuri house. So here it is here in the traditional sheath. And I hope to make a video about what everything is called on these things, including the sheath, the parts of the sheath and that sort of thing, and then the knife, the traditional names for them. I don't want to get into that. It'll just take too long. I just wanted to give you the basic specs of this particular one. Now, it is the smallest Kukuri, functional Kukuri, that they make at the house. You can see here it's a traditional, very recognizable sheath. And like I said, when you pull it out, you do it that way. And you can see it here. Now, the blade size is 6 inches. And the way they measure is directly from there to the bolster here. So, you know, from the tip to the bolster is the length that they use to describe the knife. On this one, it is 6 inches. The blade thickness, and it's healthy, you can see it right there, 7 millimeters. Think about that. It's pretty thick. The blade is they polish it. It's a finished polished blade. See there? The grind, full flat grind, all the way down, all the way around. And the actual sharpened edge here is a semi-convex. And if you look at it there, hopefully you can see this. What I want to do is use this like I would use when I'm camping and for all the chores that I want, including food prep. That's what I'm hoping for. Is it sharp? I can tell you, this edge feels pretty sharp. It is a carbon steel. They really make a point of this blade needs a lot of looking after. You got to keep it oiled because it'll rust in a heartbeat. So when they ship it to you, it comes in a plastic bag and it's really heavily oiled. I've wiped most of the oil off here. And they say, he says, barehanded, keep your fingers off the blade because your skin oil will cause it to rust. So obviously when you're done, you've been camping, you get back, first thing you want to do, clean this up and oil it. Otherwise you're going to have rust problems. I got to say that I'm pleasantly surprised about the feel of this knife. I was concerned after looking at the marbles one. I just wanted to deal with the shape of the knife, and that gave me a pretty good idea. That's something you might want to consider. It wasn't very expensive. Nothing like this cost. Don't get me wrong, it didn't break the bank, but I got it at a good price, shipping and everything to my door from Nepal. So the blade material is 5160, and it's a great steel for knives. The only exception, they say, is its corrosion resistance. You've got to really, really keep it clean and oiled. It's very good edge retention on the cutting edge. the hardness, great hardness, and very wear resistant. You're not going to scratch it easily or anything like that. They do say that traditionally knives like this were a household knife around the house. They didn't really abuse it. They actually say in there they don't recommend battening or anything like that. But the videos I saw, people whacked at it like you won't believe. And I'll put a link up here to some videos that I'd recommend you watch. Actually, I'll put them in the description below for you. I'm starting to really like this knife. The edge hardness. Now, they're talking about the cutting edge here, and there's a reason for that now. I'll explain later. And that is 55 to 57 HRC. Not too shabby at all. So the handle size, 4 inches, and it's a polished finished handle, and it's rosewood, this handle. It's very nice wood. It's a very dark, solid wood. You can see the handle there. And then the butt here that holds the whole thing together actually screws on there, this little cap here. Of course, the traditional notch. And then that overall shape where you have the notch right here by the right below the ricasso, and then you got a flat edge here. Now they say the reason for the flat edge, this is what they call the traditional knife edge. It's straight. So any delicate work you want to do, you're going to be doing it here. This here area here on the blade is where you're going to do your chopping. This is the main focus for your chopping. And the reason for that is when you chop down, it has a tendency to round. So you chop and it does that. You get a better chop out of it. And then of course, yeah, the deep belly here is where you would do your battening. You would put this into the wood and then batten down. Surprisingly, they say that the point really has no real significance. They say that most people with a full size Kukuri will hold the blade like this and use it to dig into the ground, that sort of thing. So they don't really pay much attention to the point, although as a weapon, as a defensive weapon, this is deadly, and they do talk about stabbing with it. And when you stab and you pull out, the shape of the blade really increases that cut. So you stab and pull out where you actually slice when you pull out. Deadly weapon. You know, the Gurkhas made it famous for their knife fighting skills using the Kukuri. But a very basic look at it. You're looking at a 6-inch blade from tip to bolster, and then the handle 4 inches. So you're looking at a 10-inch knife here. And that was the main reason I got this. I didn't want a full Kukuri. I wanted a camp knife. Nice. It sits in my hand perfect. I really like the feel of this. There's no way this is going to slide out of my hand. I'm liking this. I'm really, really liking this. The information they send with you has who made the knife. It has all that fancy paperwork and everything that comes with it. So, and they tell you about the markings on it. There's a bee here. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a bee there. And on the other side, you can see there the Kukuri house symbol. So you know where it came from. I believe this is just a simple brass bolster, which gives it a nice look. It gives a little bit prettier look to it. And then your traditional sheath with the tip and the way it clips on here. One of the reasons I wanted a different sheath was that everybody complained that this sat way too high on your belt, and I can see why. Here's where your belt is. The handle comes out right here. It's going to sit right up. So that was one of the reasons I decided to get that accessory. And that is this guy here, which is the Western style sheath. It's a healthy piece of leather. It's very nice. It's well made. The stitching looks solid. It has all these supports on it. It does have a D-ring down here, which you could use to secure to your leg, or if you want to tie it to your pack or something like that. And then it has a D-ring here, which is a nice touch if you want to put, hang it so it moves freely, or you can just put it on your belt. And it has the clip here, and then this will help the securing of the blade. By putting it there, it's not going to flop out. Pretty nice. I like this. Let's put the knife in here. And remember what I said, when you put it in, you want to keep the spine of the knife up against here. You don't want to push down on the blade because it's going to cut the leather. So you're going to put it in there and slide it in just like that, and it goes right in. Clip that on, clip that in, and there you have it there. The Western style sheath. Apparently for us heathens who prefer not to use the traditional. Now I know you're going to say, where are the two little knives that go along with this? Well, on this one that wasn't an option. It doesn't come like that. However, it is an accessory that you can get with it. I felt I didn't need them. It would be nice, maybe later on, if this really works for me, I might buy a full-size traditional one with everything that goes with it. The other addition I got is this is normally stitched, and I decided to get these guys, and they just allow you to pop it off easier without having to take, you can just pop these off. And it's just like a push button. You just push it on there, you can see it there, and you have different holes, obviously how far down you want it, how up. It's a height adjustment. I got these because when you want to take a sheath off, you have to undo your belt, take it out of off the side of your pants so you can slide off your belt. Well, this here allows you to just pop it off without having to do that, which I thought was a nice touch. And they didn't cost me. It was a couple of bucks to have these, which was, I thought, a nice little addition. I wasn't sure I'd like this sheath. I do like it. It's very nice, and I can tell you, solid as a rock. My Kukri from the Kukuri house. Very nice with the Western style. A very quick look at it, just some basic specs on it. And like I said, I do want to make a video where I'm going to go through descriptions on it. I found it fascinating what they call these things, and maybe a little history and the reason they called those things. So I have all that information. I spent 3 weeks waiting for it, looking up the information. So that'll be coming up. But right now, I'm hungry. I want to eat, which means I've got to build a fire, which means I have to go and find some sticks. So let's do that. Okay, so I put the sheath on, and I'm right-handed. My normal camp knife I would wear on my right-hand side, and I can just pull it out. Well, what I discovered right away was, with the Kukuri, that don't work. So I had to put it on the left side. It just felt easier to take it out and a little bit more safer. So here it is on my left-hand side. Like I said, I'm right-handed. I found this the easiest way to deal with it. The way you have to draw the knife out is you're going to pop these off, hold the sheath, and pull it out using the ridge of the knife against the sheath to stop it cutting your sheath. So there you have it there. I'm going to take it off. So what I'm going to do is just pop these off, hold the sheath. I'm actually pushing back on it this way, and I'm going to pull it out. Just like that. Nice and easy. Once I figured that out, no problem. Let's go get some wood. So finding wood is not going to be as easy as I thought it was. It's pretty overgrown here. You can't use green wood. I wouldn't want to use that anyway for a fire. I've got to find some dry wood and cut it up and bring it back and make me a fire. See, up here, if I remember, there's a little muddy stream here. Oh yeah, I'm in it now. And up the other side here, and you can see there's a bunch of wood here. So looks like we might just be in luck. Sometimes you just don't need a camper. Deep balls and ignorant. Like that. Don't try this at home, kiddos. Get it right there. It goes right in. I don't need a lot of work. It's not like I'm staying overnight. But I want to be able to at least test the knife. Cool. And when you hit it just right, it cuts it. I want to hit right there. Look at that. Wow. And it's staying in my hand. Yeah. Some small sticks. Yeah, some here. That looks a little bit better. Let's cut a little bit. It's play. Oh yeah. It slices right through that if you hit it right in the right position. Yeah, see that? When I get it right there, it goes right in. Look at that. Hopefully, breakfast will be beans, tomatoes, sausage, bacon, toast, onions, and some fried egg, and of course, coffee. Let's do this. So I thought while the fire rages away and gets a little bit more controlled for cooking, I'd put this through some paces that I'd use while camping. Let's see what happens. So the first thing I want to do is just hack away at a piece of wood and see how we do there. Ooh. Yeah. Just the weight is helping. I can feel it, that weight forward on the blade. Look at that. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's see. I have to say that the weight forward makes a big difference. It certainly, I didn't have to swing hard at it, just the weight helped, which I suppose is a good thing. Let's see what we can do as far as this. Oh, it works, huh? I thought that might be a little bit too small, but it works. Wow. Look at that. I think it could be sharpened a little bit more, but I mean, for this kind of work. But certainly just chipping away at stuff does the job. Break this down and see if we can feather with it. Well, what do they say? Use the body, the thick body. So, whoops, wrong. Where's the thick body? Right there. It's going to take, whoa, it's going to take some getting used to lining it up and the shape, but it certainly does the job. Wow. Yeah. No problem there. Really no problem. Look at that. Huh. I want to see if I can feather though, that's the question. I'm going to try and use the flat side here. Or maybe, yeah, you see there, that's heading first. But, oh yeah. No problem. And I think because of the width of the blade, this is really going to have to be razor sharp, and that's not going to be easy to do, but hey, nothing persists like persistence. Look at that. Very nice. Working for me. No problem there. Can we whittle a little bit with it? I don't know. I don't normally whittle with a knife this big. But you know what? Got to give it a go. And like I said, you've got such a small piece here of what I call the knife edge. But it seems to work. And I'm getting hungry. Really hungry. I'll notch it. Huh. How about that? Now we're going to do some food prep. Woot! Gotta clean it off. Ah. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Oh, that'll work. Bacon. Oh. Let's cut it. Can I cut the bacon? Yeah, it's a little slippery. Oh, but it cuts it. Let's cook it. That water's boiling. That means coffee is ready. So it cut the bacon. Ha! And really, what else do you need? Bacon is everything. And if you do it like this, you can even slice a tomato. And this is no fresh tomato, I might remind you. It's a little bit overripe, but hey, since when did I get picky? Let's see if we can chop up some onion to go in the beans. Yeah, this will work. You don't even have to slice. You just push down with the blade and it cuts through. Huh. Interesting. I hear bacon. Ooh. Time to get the beans. I'm going to put it in the pot here. I don't really need to cook them, just need to warm them up. I'll put some onions in here. Mix them up, put it on the fire. Got everything everywhere. Alright. That's, oh yeah, bacon. Oh. Breakfast is almost ready. The coffee's ready. The coffee's hot. Oh, and it's good. It's strong. In my face and I broke the egg. Breakfast is served. Look at that. Egg, baked beans, bacon, tomato, sausage, onions. Woot! I'm gonna eat. So, there you have it. The Kukuri from Nepal. Camp knife? I think it can work. I think it's more me that has to get used to the knife. And I want to try and sharpen it a little bit more. But that's another story. And I'll have a big one for you coming up soon. All about this guy. Its history, why they call things, how it's called, the blades, the handles, and all that good stuff. And of course, we're going to sharpen it. Because everybody has to know how to sharpen a kukuri. Even I do. Don't forget now. Like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back again soon. Right after finishing that. Whew, it's a big meal. But hey, I'm outdoors. Just saying. Thanks for watching. And you will be safe out there. Especially with a sharp and shiny like this. Thanks for watching. You take care now. Yeah, I know. You want to know how much it cost, right? Thought I forgot. Well, I did. But here it is. I paid that much. And that includes shipping to my door from Nepal. How tough it is? It's well made, I will say that.